When a mother nurses her newborn, she is providing a perfectly tailored meal for her growing baby. But while the baby receives these nutrients, the mother is simultaneously building her own long-term health defense. The act of breastfeeding reduces your own risk of developing breast cancer later in life. How does a daily routine like feeding a baby create a defense system against a complex disease? Nursing initiates a physical reorganization of a mother's biology, constructing a biological armor that persists long after the baby has grown. To see how this armor is built, we have to look past the surface and zoom into the microscopic structures of the breast tissue. Normally, these milk-making glands are quiet and highly organized, but occasionally rogue cells can begin copying themselves too quickly, forming the clusters that lead to cancer. Breastfeeding helps block those rogue cells by changing your tissue in 3 specific physical ways. The first protective layer involves cutting off the fuel that potential threats need to grow. Every month, your body produces estrogen. While this hormone is essential for reproduction, long-term exposure can inadvertently incur certain breast cells to multiply. Breastfeeding naturally pauses your menstrual cycle. This causes the production of estrogen to slow down, stopping that hormonal assembly line. Going without these cycles results in a much lower cumulative estrogen exposure over your lifetime. By putting this hormone on hold, the breast tissue receives less of the fuel that some cancers use to develop. The second layer of protection involves moving vulnerable cells into a stable, mature state. Before producing milk, breast cells wait for a job. In this unfinished state, they are restless and prone to genetic errors. The demand to produce milk transforms them into specialized factories. Once mature, they become biologically stable, resisting cancer-causing mutations. Putting these idle cells to work removes them from the cycle of constant, unpredictable change. The final defensive layer occurs when nursing ends, triggering an extensive biological cleanup. When milk production stops, the breast tissue initiates a cycle of remodeling to clear out the old infrastructure. Cells that may have picked up tiny genetic errors are systematically broken down and removed from the tissue. Simultaneously, cellular repair crews patch up minor breaks in the DNA of the remaining healthy cells. This process helps ensure that the tissue is rebuilt with stable cells, clearing away many of the errors that can accumulate over time. We see the impact of this biological shield in global health data. Studies of thousands of women show a consistent downward trend. The longer a mother spends breastfeeding over her lifetime, the lower her overall risk of breast cancer becomes. While these biological changes are powerful, they are not an absolute guarantee. Because no single process can stop every cancer, regular screenings and self-awareness remain essential for your health. Still, the daily choices you make for your family's health have a profound impact on your own long-term well-being. By providing for your baby, you are also building a layer of protection for yourself. Breastfeeding is a remarkable example of how nature safeguards 2 generations at once.